Welcome to a better conversation with Thomie Isreal. And you know, I only sit down with people that I admire, people that motivate me, those who inspire my soul. Those are the only people that I allow to come sit down and have a true, honest conversation with me. So I'm just going to get right into it. My name is Thomie Isreal. My mother did not give me that name. I gave myself that name with the hope that I can live by it, stand by it. And when it's all said and done, I lived up to it. And my special guest today is
Evah.
Evah. That's right. That is right. Somebody that I adore from the heart, that's
Thank
in the
you.
hospitality business with me. And I just want to sit down and just pluck her brain. She always supports me. Anything I do, she supports me. Always support me. So it's great to have someone that's always got your back. And you got to believe, New York weather ain't good today.
But we here.
That's a fact. She came out. She came out. She supported me, so I appreciate that. So we're gonna get right down to business. Evah, where you from and how you got there?
How I got where I'm from?
Yeah, how you got where you from? Where you from and where you at? Like, talk to us.
I am from St. Kitts and Nevis, the beautiful Caribbean island.
Okay.
You ever heard of it?
I heard of it. Never been there, but heard of it. Tell me about that place, though.
Sunshine all year round. Paradise, beachy, good people, beautiful beaches, good food, good time.
How the water look?
Crystal clear, blue waters.
I like that. I like that. So how did you land on this place called America?
Well, so I came here when I was 16.
Okay.
I graduated high school in St. Kitts when I was 16, and I came here for college. But I was too young, so they sent me to 12th grade.
Oh, so they sent you back?
Yeah, back to high school.
So tell me about that. Tell me how that felt, like going backwards, knowing you supposed to be one level up, and they sent you one level down. How did that feel?
I mean, I get it, because in St. Kitts, technically, 12th grade is like you graduating with your associate's degree.
Okay.
Yeah, the education system there is a little ahead than here. But it was actually beneficial because the colleges here don't really take a lot of St. Kitts credit stuff. So me going back to high school for 1 year, it was actually beneficial because they took my high school diploma from here and everything just transitioned smoothly into going to college. Actually.
Okay. What high school did you go to?
I went to Maynard Evans High School in Orlando.
So you didn't. Okay, so I met you in New York, but you didn't. When you landed on America, you didn't land in New York.
No, honey.
Oh, so tell me about that.
I left from St. Kitts to Miami, and then I stayed with my aunt in Florida.
Okay.
But in Orlando, everything is just so far away. After I graduated high school, is like I signed up for Valencia College, actually.
Okay. Where's that?
In Orlando.
Oh, it was
It's
in
Valencia Community College.
Okay.
But everything was so far. I didn't have a car. The buses is like every hour over there. So then my cousin, who lives here.
Here's where?
In Bronx, New York.
Okay, but so you're Bronx girl. Bronx? I bet you live up in that White Plains area, Gun Hill Road, all Jamaican Caribbean people.
You already know.
That's right. That's right.
So my cousin was like, girl, just come to New York. Like the buses, trains run all day long.
Okay.
Like you won't have to depend on anybody to drive you to school or whatever. Like just come over here.
Okay.
So then I moved over here and then I signed up for Monroe College.
Monroe College. And what did you study there?
So here's the funny part. My first semester, I did culinary arts.
Culinary arts. Okay.
So I always wanted to be a chef. But when I got here, everybody was in my ear like, oh, healthcare is the way to go. You're going to make money in healthcare.
That's why so many Jamaican West Indians work in the hospitals.
Man,
the Filipinos taking over now, but at that time.
That's what they told us. Healthcare is the way to go. Like CNA, what is it? Home health aid, all those type of stuff. So when I was looking into it, medical assistant make more than them.
Okay.
So that's how I ended up doing my associate's degree in medical assistant.
Okay.
And then I went to do public health for my bachelor's degree.
Interesting. But I met you independent contracting inside hospitality. Do you remember the first place I met you at? What contract do you think we had together?
I exactly remember. We was working at the Standard High.
The Standard. Standard big time. Standard was spending some money. They was bringing in contractors after contractors. One thing I know about the Standard Hotel is downtown what's that? The Flatiron District? It's like behind the Apple. It's all the way down by the highway. Yeah. The Flatiron, like, where all the clubs, big time clubs. That Standard Hotel. One thing about them, when you come in, they give you the sexual harassment joint. You can take an hour to do the test. 2 hours.
Go down in the basement.
Yeah.
Do the little test.
Man. They had us down there for 3 hours for that contract. I didn't mind because we was on the clock.
We were still getting paid.
And man, they bring the contracts. I said, y'all got money to burn. Y'all got us in here for 3 hours just doing ABC 1, 2, 3s.
Oh, yeah.
But that was dope. That was the Standard. Standard was great. It was good money at Standard. What did you do at Standard?
We was even server.
We was
passing hors d'oeuvres.
Hors d'oeuvres, yeah. We brought in the team, do the hors d'oeuvres. Everybody had a team.
It was like a quick shift, like what, a 5-hour shift?
Like 5 hours, but they always had good contract. You could go daily with them. I think we all lost the contract. Do you know why we lost that contract? Because they just kicked us all out at one time. They must have brought in some other people.
You know what? I don't even know.
Yeah, and that was before D&I. So that was, it might probably just, people just messing up. You could give people a big bag and they just still would mess up.
They fumble the bag.
They'll fumble the bag. That's a fact.
That's exactly what they do.
And I think from there we went up and did those Pelham. We grabbed them Pelham contracts.
Definitely did. We was at the country club.
At the country club. They were spinning the bag all summer long.
Making that money. We did the Jarvis Center.
But Jarvis give you a dime too.
Jarvis is always popping.
Jarvis is popping, but they don't give you long. You'll get a 1-day contract with them.
Yep.
Because they union, they got their own people in there.
Pretty much.
I also, I admire you so much because of your grind.
Yeah.
Like you would go in and do anything them contracts I see pop up. I see you on your computer like, I'll take that. I'll take that. You like me. And I was like, yo, we grind. We used to be like,
you
okay.
Have to.
I said, what we were going to do, because we going to say, all right, this is what we going to do. Because I think y'all learned from me. Look what happened. We would do. We would for a wedding, we'd take a 10-hour shift for the wedding.
Right.
And then after the contract, we'll hit the button, extend the contract, and then go clean up and do the breakdown. And if it was more money left, we go do some dishes.
You already know.
We would grab every dime from them.
Especially if the price was right, we will stretch that money.
Stretch it all out. Play no games with them.
Especially when you know you're clocking out and you're getting paid. Right off the bat.
Right off the bat. That's one thing about stretch it out. And one thing about those are daily contracts where they pay you at the end of that night. That the money will be right back. So if you had a nice team, that money's all going into your bank account that morning. Not like some other contracts would be like 1 week later or net 30. With net 30, where you're getting paid 30 days later. Right. These are the 1-day contract, what makes it excellent.
Clock out, you get paid.
Yeah, exactly. But I also, when I have, sometimes I run into like when they want cooks or they want prep cooks and they want to send a team in there and I'm not sure about how that place is, I usually call you.
Right.
Because that's your skill set. Being in the kitchen with all those chefs traveling all over, that's your skill set. So I usually call you. And I know you had a long-standing contract with a place up in Terrytown before. Yes. What was that place? Tell me about
it. It's a pharmaceutical company. That's where they make the vaccine, test them out. Sometimes I go to work, you see the truck dropping off like the racks of rats.
They have you. So let's say that again. Let's go back. That's interesting. You see them dropping off the rats that they will be testing.
That they're going to take to the lab.
Wow. Yep. You will see them. So this is big time. Because pharmaceuticals got money.
Of course.
They got money. But those contracts are early morning. Do you drive?
Nah.
So those are early morning contracts, and you got to get your team up there at 6 in the morning.
You'll be surprised how I used to get there.
Tell me about it.
I used to have to take the Beeline bus. And it would drop me off a little off the highway. It would get off the highway,
right?
And the first stop is as soon as it make the corner on the highway.
So that's Terrytown, New York,
right? And I'm standing on the side of the highway.
You want that money? You want that money? 6 in the morning. Still dark outside. You going to get it.
And no buses goes there. It's like the bus times is weird. So I will either walk, and sometimes it will be cold, or I will take an Uber. But then I found me a friend that worked there, Peter.
Was he handsome? Did you like what kind of Peter was this? Was this the regular Peter? Or he was a Peter Piper trying to get some liper piper? What's going on here? Talk to me now.
No. Peter was an older guy. He was an older, friendly guy. He probably could be my grandpa or something.
Okay.
But what happened was Peter used to try hustle.
Okay.
So he would be like, yo, instead of you paying the Uber, I'll pick you up from the train and you give me the Uber money.
Smart man. How was that kitchen? Was it a tough kitchen? Was it a large kitchen? Was it like Google's kitchen? Did you ever do Google's?
Oh, I hate Google. I did Google one time.
You didn't like it? What? Tell me why. Why?
It's just too much people, and then it's like when you go to work, the people is like looking at you like, what are you here for? Like, who are you? Like,
right.
Like, I don't know. I just don't like the vibes.
But I like Google. I don't like 111 Google, but I do like Googles. I like all the Google, especially the new one, the 550 Washington campus. I like them. The thing about Google is the people are not, they seem like they act like they're the programmers. They act like they're the data managers. They act like they're Steve Jobs' nephews.
And the funny part is they're not even Google. They're RA.
They're RA. They're restaurant associate, but they think that they coming up with the new apps or something. They act like
they're the important people.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, like, yo.
Like, it's just like sometimes when you go to gigs, it's like they don't even appreciate you being there. Like, we're only there to help. We're not here to take your jobs.
Right.
Like, if we wanted a job, we would have been get a job.
Exactly.
You know how many people access, you want to work here? And what do we do?
Nope. Decline it. The bag is not there.
Nope.
The bag is not there.
And I tell people all the time, like, we not here to take your job. We just here to help you work and make your day easier.
That's what they bring us in for.
They just take it and turn it the other way and have their attitudes and treat you like shit. And it's just like, I can't. You can't. Bad energy.
Yeah. So tell me some of the good places you like working. Because there is a lot. There is a lot.
In terms of environment or paycheck wise?
Let's go environment. Let's go environment where the stress is low.
Javits Center.
Javits
definitely cool. One of my favorite places. Newark Airport.
Newark. So that's Flick. Flick runs Newark Airport.
United. What was it? United Airlines.
United Airlines. But who runs the?
Flick.
Flick runs the thing. So when you go in there, it's mostly in the kitchen. So you're catering skills. Did you you're learning from college because you wanted to do culinary,
right?
Did it translate? So you going in there? Do they feel threatened by you coming in with this education, knowing what you're doing?
Well, the thing is, my first year of college, we never really did like hands-on stuff.
Okay.
It was more of like the basics of
the textbook.
Right.
Right.
So not more so the hands-on, because after my second semester, I switched to medical assistant.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't fully go in depth in that.
Okay, didn't fully go into depth.
No.
But so you're going into these kitchens, traveling all over New York City, upstate New York, going into these kitchens. Tell me about dealing with these guys who think they're these corporate chefs. These corporate chefs. Tell us a little about dealing with these corporate chefs.
You know what I've noticed? The corporate chef that comes from like the dishwasher and up, they're like the best ones.
Because they grind it and they know what it's like.
And they understand. Like me just stepping into the culinary scene, like they understand how it feels like to grind your way up to the top. Versus the ones who did the 9 yards.
Schools, with the France and all this.
Right, did the internship in Italy.
Yeah. I
they
deal with those guys.
They're all there, high and mighty.
Yeah.
So those ones is a little, they look at you like you're stupid.
Right.
Let's say if you just do something wrong. Like, I'm the type of person, I learn by looking and doing. So I watch you do it, and then I could try and do it.
Right.
That's how I learned. You could tell me 10 times. It's just gonna go through one.
Go out there. Right. You
like
gotta show
everybody
me.
have their own learning.
Right.
What you call it? Their own learning ability, but that's my way.
Right.
See, watch, and do it.
Right.
So when you go to some of these kitchens, like some of these chefs don't have the patience.
They don't
have the patience. Like, you gotta come in knowing exactly what
they do, and then they understand. Because sometimes people work somewhere so long, they in their brain they think you should know. Yeah, I remember getting my first contract, long-term contract, brought in a team at Citibank. Yeah. The headquarters, Citibank headquarters. That kitchen is big. It's chaotic. You come in there. I'll tell you the story. I came in there one time, got the contract, man, and we never come into kitchen. So I come into this kitchen. This is my first time doing this contract. They gave us a prep cook. They gave my company a better staffing solution. They gave us a 6-week contract.
Right.
And we had to bring knives. Don't you know I brought in my house knife? I brought in a rusty house knife. And then I left it on the shelf because I didn't want nobody to see it. So they had me go do something. Right. And I wound up leaving the knife on the shelf. And the chef came and he was like, "Who knife is this?" And I was ashamed. I didn't want to tell him it was my knife. I said, "Now, like, who knife is this?" I'm like, "Ain't my knife." Ain't my knife. I went and grabbed one of his day knives. I'm like, "Ain't my knife." Stop, ain't none of my team knife. So that was crazy. But I wound up getting through these kitchens because I don't know really much about the kitchen really, but I just know my hustle and my heart, and I figure I can just go in there and persuade my way through, which is risky because when you go in some of these places, you get that one rating. Just like a Uber, he gets it drops your rating down for your company, and it can hurt you. It drops your pay down. It on the lower access to shifts. You won't see as much, so it gets risky. I just got lucky, and I remember his name. Cool Chef. It's like the name from one of the guys from Wu-Tang, like Calipano. It was like one of those great Italian names. So he just scream all the time at me. But sometimes, and I'll keep it real, sometimes people think that black people have attitudes. Right. So they'll be afraid, or they just scream at you and then think that you're gonna go crazy and then quit. Or you're going to scream back, and that's going to give them a chance to get you out of there because they don't want you in there in the first place. It's right? True. So when they scream at you, they think you're going to be like, "Yo, who you talking to? Who you think you're talking to?" His name was Capadon. Right. I'll never forget Big Capadon, Italian guy, come screaming at me. "What the hell are you doing? What the hell are your whole team doing?" Right. And I'd be like, Capadon, I just play on him and be like, "Well, this is what they taught me in France." This is what I learned when I was in the south of France and studying. So I would just make a joke out of it. Right. You know what I'm saying? So he had to and then after about a week, and we got super cool. And then there's another chef there from RA that he's not like Capadon. He just tried to get me out of there, but I was Capadon's guy. Right. After a week, everybody knew they couldn't mess with me because I was Capadon's guy. You know what I'm saying? When they cursing and all that, I showed them, and I like to, when I go into these contracts, Evah, I tell myself early in the morning when I get up 2 hours early to do my little push-ups because I'm getting up there. I want to keep my sexy on. Yeah, it's true. When I go into these contracts, I tell myself and I tell my team, we go in there, you're not only representing a better staffing solution, or you're not only representing yourself, you're representing a whole race of people. Right. Because they see you as being late. They see you as being lazy. They see you having an attitude. Right. You got to change that perspective and open the door for those who's coming after you. It's not about you. And that's what I tell myself. I say, I'm going to go in there early. And I'm going to give them 110% because I'm representing a whole race of people. And if I get there a little 20, 30 minutes early and get started, I got to jump. So if I fall behind, I already got to jump. Right? So that gives a little advantage, and it helps you, and it shows they're going to have to take it a little light on you because they see you trying.
Of course.
Right? And then I remember they would tell me, this is my last thing before we move on, I remember Capadon and the other guy screaming at me. They was like, "Thomas, what the hell are you doing? Stop counting the onions and just cut them." He said that because I was taking so long cutting the onions and the tomatoes and whatever they had me doing. I was taking so long. Yeah. He would say, "Stop counting them, just cut them." Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because I would say, but it was just a joke, and I would just know how to just laugh with them. You know what I'm saying? That makes it great because then you can extend the contract or you can leave, because I felt it was good money, and it was in the slow season. Right. So I needed the money, but I said, you know what? I'm going to leave because I don't want to I became the charity case. I wasn't good. This place is a high activity. We talking about Citibank. This is a corporation that's big. Right. And this is the headquarters. We're not talking about no bank. We're talking about the headquarters. We're talking about 60 floors. Right. We're talking about thousands of employees. We're talking about thousands of pounds of meat. You talking about 1,000 tomatoes.
Yeah.
We talking about 500 onions. You cutting.
Give you,
know
like,
what I'm saying?
cases upon cases.
Cases and cases. So I would say, you know what? Let's go and move on out of this contract because I don't want to be the charity case, and I want to be able to come back in the future.
Right.
Because there were times when you have these low seasons, which is those Januaries, right after Christmas,
right after Christmas
into like March.
like right now, it's just
slow season. That's when I write my newsletter, which is called Freelancers Inc. It showed you how not to have a slow season.
You can't have a I've never had a slow.
I don't
season.
have slow seasons.
I tell people all the time, I've never had a slow season.
I don't have slow seasons. I see people on the board starving. I have children. Can anyone pass me a shift?
And I feel bad.
Yeah.
You can't
Please
pass
help
something
me.
that's not there.
Yeah, but I told you to read the newsletter, Freelancers Inc. I tell y'all, and if you read my newsletter, you will learn how not to have a slow season.
But you know what's the problem with people nowadays? Nobody want to read.
No one wants to read.
Nobody want to read.
The girl told me straight up, and she was my friend. She the one who put me in to Instawork. She the one who put me into this lane. Yeah. And she told I said, hey, I didn't see you sign up for my newsletter. She said, well, I don't have time to read. I said, you don't have time to grow. Because you on the train commuting to these jobs all over, you got time to open an email and just read.
It's not going to take you more than 5 minutes.
I said just read. It's a short email, give you some tips. It gives you that momentum to go in these places. Right. But it is what it is. And I appreciate her. I appreciate her for putting me into the game. But look where I'm at in the game now and look where she's at. Because you don't have time to read. You know,
reading is fundamental.
Reading is fundamental. Are you in any books? What's your favorite books have you read? Do you have any?
Of course. So I have two favorite authors. One is Kennedy Ryan.
Okay, what do you write about?
She's romantic.
Okay.
And
so you like
romance?
Love. You love romance. I understand that. I in this economy that we in, this hospitality, we run across a lot of people. I remember, and I don't know, this is rumors that you was married to this handsome young gentleman. Was that a marriage, or was you want to expand on that?
Because married to who?
Just a handsome young man.
You
he had dreads.
Working with all these people is like being in high school. It's like he said, she said. I'm old.
I see.
Well, not old like that, but we not in high school. Like if somebody have a question, they can just come and ask me. You see any ring on this?
No, I don't see any rings. I don't see any rings because that was the rumor floating around. Because you are the Caribbean queen.
Rumors always flows regardless.
What is true? What is true?
People is bored. People don't have nothing to do.
Right.
That's why they have a slow season.
That's why they have a slow season. I see that. And sometimes I do notice you travel a lot. Did you have your YouTube channel that you traveled?
Yes, I post on there. It's called All Things Evah.
All Things Evah. YouTube.
Evah with an H.
Evah with an H. We're going to have that right on the bottom. I believe it's right there.
But yeah, I've been to a couple places.
Tell me about them.
I've been to Africa.
Africa. But Africa's a big place. Where at in Africa?
So my first stop was Morocco.
Morocco.
And then I went to Ivory Coast, which is now called Côte d'Ivoire.
Côte d'Ivoire.
For a wedding.
For a wedding.
Really nice. And then I went to London, Paris, and France in one trip.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and then the rest places like Caribbean islands.
That's beautiful. So is it the opportunity that this ability that we in this hospitality industry, does that give you that freedom? Being able, you can pick your jobs and your contract. Yes. Does that give you the freedom to travel? Yes. And the finances to travel?
It does. But here's the thing.
I'm listening.
That don't mean I have one source of income.
Okay.
We in New York now.
That's true.
God forbid Isreal was to give out. What we gonna do? But with the contract jobs, I do get a lot of freedom because if I don't feel like going to work, I don't. Right. And versus you in a regular job, what they give you like 2 weeks vacation. Right. By the time you travel, it's time to come back. Right. And true. And anything pop up, you got to go to the boss. Oh, can I take this day off? Can I do that? And I think that's the advantage of having these independent contracts where you're able to, pick and choose or switch them out. You can always send me a contract and say, hey, you want this contract? And I'll jump right on and have somebody. Can you make it? Right. Yeah. So usually I try to travel in the slow seasons. So this is why it feels like it's never a slow season for me. Because when it's slow season, usually I travel. I see. So I would just go away for like a month. and come back, and then we start grinding again.
Where do you think you get that grit, that hustle to be able? Because you're one of the upper levels, that people that females that really go get it. We got some that like girl out of Ivy's a go getter.
Everybody's a go getter.
Zalima's a go getter.
Yep.
Mara's are also a go getter.
Macy,
they go get it. Where did you get that grind from? That ability to get up? Because sometimes these places are far. Sometimes the shifts are long. Sometimes they're consistent. Like, where did you get that deep grit to help you get through these? Because they're not easy sometimes.
You know, it runs in the genes.
Okay.
My father told me when he was younger, he used to be that guy that drives around and pick up the golf balls off the golf course. And I remember he told me him and the manager was arguing. He said he was really young. I wasn't even born yet. And that was his first job. And he told the manager, I don't have time for your nonsense. And all the money he saved, he bought a truck and he was hustling the whole time. And, you know, I start seeing the same thing with me. Like, all these jobs that I've had, would you believe me if I tell you that only one job I've ever put a 2 weeks notice into?
Only one. Where would you working at?
I used to work at Open Door Family Medical Center. I used to work at Westchester Medical Center. I used to work at New York Orthopedics.
So what made you transition into the independent contractor thing? What happened there?
With these jobs, I don't play with people. You tell me some nonsense, I don't have time for the nonsense. Like, there's plenty jobs out there. I don't have to deal with this one. I don't have to deal with this. Like, you're not gonna, like, we're human. You could be my manager and that's okay. That don't mean you're above me. Like, we're still human. Respect is respect. We still gotta respect each other, right?
Right.
Like, don't feel like you could just come and talk to me and say whatever you want. Like, it don't fly like that.
Right.
I'm the type of person, I would take my bag and leave.
See that? That's good. Which I saw before.
Oh, yeah. So, like, there's jobs all over. I don't need this one. Like, I have all my qualifications and whatever that I need to get me a job.
Right. That
so I
can
go anywhere. Everybody's hiring.
That gives you the advantage.
Everybody's hiring. So I don't have to settle anywhere.
Right.
So... yeah, that's me.
Now that still young, still amazing. Any children?
No.
That's good. That's when you can just get up and go.
Whenever God bless me, He will.
So where do you see your career in the next 5 years? Just give me 5 years ahead. That's not too far ahead. What do you see? What would you like to build?
You know what? I think a lot about Insane Kids because there's not really much Insane Kids. I don't even think there's a club in St. Kitts.
No club?
No.
How do the people party in St. Kitts?
In the park or somewhere. They set up the stage with the speakers and everybody stay in the park and party.
Right.
Or the beach or, you know, there's not really a club there.
Right.
So, and then it's like on weekends, there's really not much to do or go.
Right.
Like, besides, like, the movies or out to eat. But you wouldn't really find, like, a lounge. Not much. They don't really have much.
Right.
So, sometimes I think about, like, opening a brunch spot.
That would
and
be
one
nice.
time I sit down and had, like, a whole brainstorming. And I came up with this thing about...
menu? Did you see your menu?
I see everything. I see everything.
Tell me about your menu. What would this menu look like?
So, the place was going to be called... Pineapple Transfusion, right? And then all my food would be served in a pineapple boat. Like, I had this whole thing
vision.
about, right. And then I started thinking, like, where's all these pineapples gonna come from in St. Kitts?
Yeah. We gonna get these. We gonna import these things in and put a tariff on them, and you be in trouble. The whole thing. Whole boat falls.
Like, I had this whole thing because you know in St. Kitts it's really hard to get stuff because everything is important. Okay. So
what's your national resources there? Well, do y'all export anything? Sugar cane, like?
See, we used to.
Okay.
Not no more. So now our main thing is just tourism.
Tourism is y'all
thing.
we
used to make sugar. Sugar
cane
factories. Yep.
So now,
not no more.
Not no more.
Because nobody want to do the work.
We
used to bring people from like Guyana, Trinidad, not Trinidad, Jamaicans. They used to come in and do the cane fields.
Right.
The St. Kitts people don't want to do it.
Right.
So.
And then it just
fall
the economy
apart.
went down.
Yeah, so now it's mostly tourism.
Mostly tourism.
Yeah.
So what do you see? Let's expand on what you see and how would you get the finances to open up this? Okay, but you never went into where you see yourself 5 years. You told me about the
5
vision.
years.
But what would you like to do? What's your passion? What do you love?
I love to cook. I love to cook.
So it would definitely be in
the
hospitality. It would just be a restaurant.
Definitely.
And you think you don't think you can start small in New York anywhere? Is the rent too high, or because you have the skill set, you have the experience?
I can. I just always think about my home. I just always think about St. Kitts.
Wow.
That's what happened.
Right. So that's why you think the goal
So
will be
if
there.
I ever think about anything in that type of area, it's always like back home.
I see.
Yeah, not in New York.
Not in New York.
See, New York for me is just make the money
and then go back. And I think that's for everybody. And then Dominicans, but anybody that comes here, Indians, everybody want to make the money here and then go back home, which is thing. And because me, I come from a small village.
This is your home.
I come from a small village called Harlem.
Right.
You ever heard of that?
Yes.
Yeah, very small village. So I just go right on the bus back to home. So I don't really, so that's my home.
You can make anywhere home.
What is true.
Harlem don't have to always be your home.
What is true. And I can make anywhere home,
You
but
can
that's
make anywhere
but see
home.
you get to make the money and then go back to St. Kitts. I get to make the money, then maybe go back down south, like
and
my
that's
pops.
Fine.
What is fine? True. What is true? I do think about that. I do think about where because I'm getting older. I probably lived more than I'm gonna live.
It just comes a point where, how long are you gonna hustle for?
What is true?
Eventually you're gonna get tired of hustling.
What is true, and that's the case. That's why it's so important for me to build a better staffing solution because I want to become one of the leading Afro-Americans in this space and then take it to the next level. But first I want to dominate that space first, with a better staffing solution and continue to grow it and get some contracts. And one of the main contracts that I'm focused on that's in my mind that I'm locking into is Columbia University. I want that contract so bad and I want it big. I want to be able to employ 60 people a day.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? That's my goal, to be able to go in because I can move 60 people, 50 people like that.
Right.
That I can get them. If Columbia called and said we need 10 dishwashers, we need 20 buses, we need 10 event servers, we need people. 15 cooks, I can get them. Right? I know who's the best in the business, and that what give me the differential advantages to any of these people like Instawork or Chit Joe. I know who's the best of the best.
Right, because you work firsthand with them.
Instawork
don't even know who we are.
They don't know who's who. It's a raffle. It's like algorithm. They just picking. I know who needs smoke breaks, so don't pick them because they like to go out and smoke, come back smelling like smoke in these people amazing kitchens. I know who can't help smoke 20 blunts. Right. I know who comes late. I know the best of the best. I know who gets in there and gets busy. Right. I know the people that's going to stay extra. I know people, because I know I'm not going to send a certain person to Sony because I know that chef, she can't take that. She can't take his attitude. Right. But I'll put her somewhere else, maybe at NBC, because I know that lady chef over there is cool and she's Afro-American and she can fit in with her. And I know who to send over to Disney. I know who to send everywhere. Who to send at NYU. And that's my blessing. And I said, I've been in this industry for such a long time that I might as well dominate it.
You should.
I might as well dominate it.
The ultimate goal in life is to make money while you sleep.
Yeah, make money while you sleep.
That's where I'm heading at.
Yeah, and that's the key. That's why you have to have something online also. Having an e-commerce business is very important also.
You have to.
And I think that's very, especially with AI. AI helps you do everything so great.
AI is like your brains now.
Yeah.
Like people have no excuses.
Your brain's on steroid. No, you're right.
People have no excuses to not do anything no more.
Right. Well, it's true.
Like the ball is in everybody's court at this point.
Well, it's true. So, you just got to be willing to do it.
You have to.
You got to be willing to do it. It's the mindset.
It's the mindset. And it's also who you hang around.
Yeah, what is true.
Because if you're not around people who's like on the same level with you or motivating or ambitious.
Right, yeah, because that's what they say.
With people who just hang
You're the average of the 5 people you be around.
You're just gonna start adopting to the same thing that they're doing.
Well, it's true.
And then you're not gonna get nowhere.
But it's true. It's true. Let me ask you a couple questions before we go off. If Monday is a funny kind of day. Like Monday is a business day. Then you have Wednesday, which is like a hump day, right?
Right.
And then you have a Friday that's more like a party day. Then you have a Sunday that's more like a calm day.
Right.
If you had to go to dinner with somebody on a Monday, which is like a business day, dead or alive, who would you pick to go to dinner with on a Monday? Me?
Because you're always talking about business.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And we'll have a great conversation. We'll be brainstorming and go head to head.
It's so funny that whenever we're having these type of conversations, it's always on the train.
True. That's true.
So definitely, if I had to pick someone, it would be you.
And I really appreciate that.
We could actually sit down and
I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. And you tell me on a Friday, who would you pick dead or alive to go out with on a Friday, dead or alive, that you would pick to spend a couple hours on a Friday? Who would you think that person to be?
I would do either Jane or Macy.
Jane O'Macy?
Yeah.
Jane O'Macy, I like that.
Either Jane or Macy.
Now, you give me somebody big out of the hospitality on a Sunday. Not Jesus. Can't pick Jesus. Maybe you'll pick Bob Marley. But give me someone that you would sit down and have brunch with. Dead or alive, anybody in the world that you think that you would have a brunch with. Dead or alive, and have a great conversation with that person. Who would it be? Dead or alive?
Cousin. Vicky.
You'll have a thing.
Yeah, definitely her.
Oh no, on a nice Sunday brunch. We can just
sit and laugh and eat together, try different things. Either her or my friend Janelle.
That's dope. I think if I had to sit down with someone on a Sunday, I think I will pick Marvin Gaye.
Who's that?
Marvin Gaye is this amazing singer. He's an amazing singer.
Right.
I will pick and sit down with Marvin Gaye because he's my favorite artist in the world. I was born the year his first album came out. He has such amazing songs that warms the heart, or he can make you dance. He has the Let's Get It On. He got songs that will make love, and he died so young. His father killed him. His father unalived him. I don't know if we can say that on there, but unalived him on April Fool's Day. His father hit him with the pump shotgun, said that he was bugging out. And this is amazing artist. And I was sick because he was getting high on drugs, and drugs. This type of drug just came out. Crack had just came out.
Yeah.
So he was like, the father didn't know what the hell. He thought he turned into a demon. The father was a preacher. The father thought he turned into a demon. So he rocked his world and took his own son out. And I would sit down with Marvin and just have a great conversation for brunch with Marvin Gaye, and have a great conversation with Marvin Gaye. That's who I would. And then if we play it back and just say who I would have to go out with on a Friday night, to really jam on a Friday night, I would pick Puff Daddy.
Okay.
I would go hang out with Puff and have a conversation with Puff and ask him would he do it all over again.
And do it differently.
And would he do it differently? And where did he go? And Jeff have a great conversation.
Right.
And then on Monday, since that's a business day, I will have a conversation with a man, this amazing man. I read his book. Amazing man. He passed away. His name is Reginald Lewis. He wrote a book called Why Should White Men Have All the Fun?
Oh, wow.
And I would ask him, since he died, and I always had a conspiracy in my brain, since he was one of the first black men to become like billionaire.
Right.
He was buying up all these companies, and out of nowhere he died of brain cancer. I would think now he's died, I would ask him, did someone shoot some radiation in your brain and set you up? Because it's the same way our God, the biggest lawyer ever in the world, that beat the OJ case, and he beat Snoop Doggy Dogg's case, Johnny Cochran, same way. Like, so I wanted to have a conversation with them and be like,
they can't let us be great.
What happened? Did you really die of brain cancer, or did something happen to give you brain? And those are the conversations. Those are the 3 people that I will have a conversation. Just like I will pick you to have a conversation. But the reality is different than them of the imagination of having sit down and have a conversation with them. I'm really able to have a conversation with you today. And I really appreciate you this evening, Evah, for coming and sitting down with me. I really, really appreciate you coming out in this crazy weather.
I know.
And just having this major, because this is something we thought about.
I know.
We thought about this. Remember you like, when we going to start this podcast? You used to be on my heels. You inspired me because you stood on my heels. When are you going to start this new podcast? Because I had the other podcast, The Daily Bag. Right. Which is just, it was no video. It was just audio podcast. And you was like, yo, you got to.
I remember we was on the train going to WWE.
Yep, WWE on the Metro North, heading up to WWE.
You haven't posted nothing in a long time. Because I always get the notification when you post. Right. And you like, oh, I'm so busy. Yeah. I'm like, Thomas, you're never too busy to do nothing for yourself.
Right. That's the truth. That's the truth.
And then you was like, well, you know, I don't have no equipment, no nothing. I'm just recording on my phone.
Right.
I'm like, nah, you making the bag. You could set up something. You could do something.
And I really appreciate you. I really, and to have a thought become a real reality is amazing. So you got to come back and you got to stop by again and send a better conversation with Thomie Isreal. Don't forget me now.
Why would
don't run away to St. Kitts and forget me. I appreciate you. I really do. Evah, I appreciate you for stopping by.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. This was a better conversation with Thomie Isreal. It's my girl Evah. We appreciate you. See y'all next time. Get on Instagram. You better make sure you follow her. Follow her YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube. Me too. Thomie Isreal, Finding Summit. Finding Summit on Instagram, just like it's spelled, Finding Summit.
You know, on Monday I listened to your video. I was like, this is the video we need. He was like, it's 6:02 a.m. and I'm out here getting ready.
That's a fact.
For the grind.
That's a fact.
That's the motivation we need when we're going on these early morning shifts.
That's a fact. And I appreciate you, Eve. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
See you next time.